Impeachment trial tonight. Congressman from the great state of Arizona, Andy Biggs, also with us. He's a former attorney and serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Also with us tonight, the former State Department Chief of Staff and National Security expert, Fred Fleitz. We'll talk to Fred about John Bolton and these new revelations in just a moment. But let's start with Congressman Biggs. Congressman, thanks for being with us tonight. Great to see you.
Good to see you, John. Thanks.
All right, so we're getting some late breaking reports this evening. The LA Times is reporting that Senator Dianne Feinstein, the Democrat from California, is leaning towards acquittal, but she hasn't made up her mind yet. Also hearing that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he's not quite sure they have the votes to avoid witnesses. What are you hearing up there on the Hill, and how do you think the defense team did today?
Well, first of all, let me take the second question first. I thought they did really well. I thought it was a great summation. I thought over the 2.5 days that they presented, they really hit on all the points that really needed to be struck, and I think they did a good job. The question is, are enough people in America watching? Because this has become political. It's not really about the Constitution anymore because the Democrats' case is so weak. But when you ask me what I'm hearing around here, this place is a rumor mill and an ordinary day, but right now the rumors are really flying. I'd heard the Dianne Feinstein rumor. Who knows if that's accurate at all? I also have heard that there are potentially other Democrats that are considering voting against the impeachment removal. On the other hand, I'm also hearing that there's several Republicans who may be wanting to do witnesses, so they may have enough to get witnesses. The problem with either one of these is we really don't know what's going to happen yet, and questions have to be asked of both parties, both management teams, the defense team and the management team, by members of the Senate. And that might actually weigh in on whether we have witnesses to come and whether people like Dianne Feinstein or others might say, you know, we're going to go ahead and vote for acquittal.
Well, former federal prosecutor Andrew McCarthy doesn't think the defense team did as good of a job as you do. He wrote in the National Review that they advanced the quid pro quo argument when they didn't need to, and now it will cost them. He went on to say this, quote, "They could have stayed on the ground where they are the strongest. Nothing happened. All foreign policy involves pressure and quid pro quo. The president's best defense has always been that Ukraine got its security aid, and that was before the congressionally mandated deadline." Do you agree with McCarthy here?
Well, I think his points are exactly right, and they never changed. I'm not sure that the team undercut its arguments by bringing up the quid pro quo, but the bottom line is there was no quid pro quo, and I think that's relevant to bring up. But I also would say this. When we start talking about the substance of this, the aid was given. It was given on time by law according to the appropriations bill that authorized and mandated the disbursement of aid money. That is something that the Democrats cannot rebut, even if you take John Bolton's assertions.
John Bolton's testimony and his manuscript changes nothing because, as you said, again, as McCarthy points out there, those are indisputable facts. The money arrived on time. The aid got there. Zelensky got his meeting with President Trump, even though it took place at the UN. You know, whatever happened. That's what the American public are going to be left with. Congressman, we thank you for your time. Great to see you as always. We look forward for an update, and feel free to give us a, call, or if you hear any more of those rumors that they turn out to be true. Great to see you, sir.
There'll be lots of them. Yeah, thanks.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.